Remember Quint from Jaws? Remember there's a brief moment in that movie where he complains that he can't get a good assistant anymore under 60. You remember that? I'm starting to feel that way. I don't want to deal with people that are like less than 30 years old anymore. I can't do it. I went to the beach the other day. I swear to Christ. I set up my tent. You know, I crack open my can of Budweiser. I got a fucking tub of pretzel sticks that you get from fucking Costco. I mean, this is like... To be honest with you, I was embarrassed to take it out of my wife's bag. Because it's like a 5-gallon drum. It's like one of those Home Depot buckets full of fucking pretzel rods. And I got the thing, I got a beer in one hand, and I got the big fucking tub of pretzel rods under my other arm. And I'm just eating pretzel. I like to eat pretzel rods. I pretend like I'm smoking cigars. You know, you get a little bit of the salt. You drink a few beers. Listen, I got a system. 2 beers, boom, I jump in the water. I come out. 2 beers, boom, I jump in the water. I come out. 2 beers, boom. That's my system. Depending on how long we're there is how many beers I'll drink. Here we go. Then now these 2 people walk up, right? These 2 people are the 2 skinniest people I ever saw in my life. Okay, it was like they walked out of, they just came out of Auschwitz. They got, and number one, I knew there was something up. Just by the look of these 2 people, I knew there was something going on. But I couldn't put my finger on it. Number one, she lays an Afghan on the sand. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Okay. Every other person alive has a blanket. And she lays an Afghan on the sand. And I can see, when she sits down, that the sand is coming up through the blanket. The Afghan! And I'm like, something doesn't calculate here. And then the second thing that tipped me off is she's putting the umbrella in the ground. And I got news for you right now. If you don't know how to put an umbrella... Listen, these people were like... They're in their mid to late 20s. If you can't figure out how to put an umbrella in the ground, get out of my country! I can't take it anymore. She's trying to put the umbrella in the ground. He's saying tilt it up. She goes, no, Zachary, like this. She wants the umbrella. She's a dunce. The wind is blowing. Listen, when the wind is blowing from a certain direction, you angle the umbrella into the wind. I mean, this is like, Beach 101. She's putting the umbrella straight up and down. Zachary's like, no, hun. He wants to not tilt it into the wind. He wants to lay the umbrella down on the ground. So I'm right away. I'm like, we're dealing with 2 dopes here. No, Zachary. And he's like, but you have to do that. No, Zachary. Anyhow, as they're doing this, I'm looking at Zachary's flip-flops, and it looks like somebody made them out of like a hay bale. And that was strike 2. It was the fucking Afghan and then the fucking hay bale sandals. And I'm thinking to myself, what's going on here? Alright, and the fact that they look like the 2 wooden wind chimes on the beach. So they're sitting there. Next thing you know, their umbrella goes flying and hits the people next to them. Now you gotta understand something here. I'm sitting here drinking a beer. I got a pile of fucking pretzel salt on my stomach, like you can't even imagine. Their umbrella. I love watching people at the beach. I just love it. Their umbrella goes flying and hits a lady in the head. No, I'm not kidding. It hit somebody that was laying down on the floor, and then it went up and it hits some lady in the head. Okay? Zachary runs up, grabs the umbrella, goes running back. Do you think he even apologized to the woman? He didn't say a word. He just grabbed his umbrella and ran back, and he laughed. Like, ha, 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 ha. Now all of a sudden, I see two more emaciated cadavers walk up. And it's their two friends. And I hear the one guy go, it was Zach and his girlfriend, and then another guy and his girlfriend. And the guy goes like this, I got pistachios. And they're like, hey! And that's when I realized,
we're dealing with vegans.
Let me tell you something about vegans, all right? I got the lowdown, and I saw this coming from a mile away, all right? You know what vegans are? They're fat people that decide that they need a change in their life. So they go, I'm going on a vegan diet. Right. So you sit there and you watch them eat salad and granola for the next, 3 months. Some of them stick with it even longer. Until they get thin, and then they look like a fucking marathon runner. Okay, you understand? I always wondered, like, everybody likes to run. We go jogging. We go running. I love people. 21.5K on the back of their car. You ever see this? People put how far they can run on the back of their car. Oh my God. Number one, do you want to know what running does to you? Let me tell you something right now. You want a physique, you lift weights. Okay? Whoever wanted to look like a marathon runner? You look like you got elephant skin, like a bag of bones. You ever see a marathon? You ever look at a marathon run and say, hey, that's what I want to look like. That's what running does to you. And this is what women don't understand. I see all these dopes running up and down the street. Yeah, you know what happens when you run? Your tits, and this is guys too. Your tits and your chest bounce up and down, and what happens? It tears that how do you want to say? It tears the tissue, and it tears at the tissue. Your tits are going up and down, so it tears that tissue, and then all of a sudden your tits get saggier and saggier and saggier. You get it? Guys too. So next thing you know, you got a third. Hey, I run every day, yeah, and then you're 35 and you take off your shirt and you look like Ric Flair in the later years, with your tits flopping out. Is that what you want? Yeah, same thing happens to your ass too. You got a flabby ass from running. Yeah. The best cardio you can do is lifting weights in the gym. So no sooner did these two morons get together, these two guys, hey, Zachary over here, let's play some paddleball. You ever see this thing? I don't know what it is. It's like a wooden paddle with a yellow handle, and they use a little blue ball. Okay, they go to play paddleball. They're 5 feet from each other. I can't lie about this. If I'm here, the other guy's here, and they're like, ting 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 ting, and then every time the volley breaks, they hug each other and high five. I'm like, oh my God. I gotta get off of Long Island. And then the other girl, she pulls out this bead kit. She's got like bead earrings here, the beaded necklace here, like a breastplate of beads. You could tell like making beads are her thing. Here we go. She sits down on the beach. She cracks open a bead container there. She starts making beads. Now Zachary's walking around. Number one, Zachary's adjusting his towel every 5 seconds and flipping sand all over everybody, by the way. I'm telling you right now. And nobody says anything. Nobody says anything. I would have been like, yo, fucko. Oh my God. And then the hacky sack comes out. Oh yeah. Oh wait, no, first they're doing Pilates. First the two guys are they're doing like Pilates, they're like planking. What's more obnoxious than somebody planking? They're like this, planking, and then they go like this. Like stretch, plank, stretch. Who are you? Denise Anderson? Who was that fucking workout broad that used to have the VCR tapes that would work out on the beach? Come on! I swear to God. Listen, just go to the beach. I go to the beach, I start dumping the beers down, and I turn on the Dio, baby. My wife, let me tell you something right now. As much as I complain about my wife, she puts on fucking heavy metal. I love it. Deep down inside, she's a metalhead. And I love that about her. I mean, she put on this like metal mix. I mean, it was like Holy Diver. I mean, listen, I love some fucking Dio lately. I don't know. I used to hate Dio. You know, I was Ozzy Osbourne, Black Sabbath, and this Dio guy came around. I'm like, what is this? Another fucking thing I got to deal with? But let me tell you something. As of late, oh man. Who's it? Ronnie James Dio? Yeah. You gotta love it. What, the guy never do a drug in his life and fucking drop dead? Meanwhile, Ozzy Osbourne's still walking around doing concerts? What a fucking slap in the face. I swear to Christ. Oh my God. Heaven and hell, though? Woo! Heaven and hell, baby. So I'm over here drinking, listening to Heaven and Hell. You know? Might have had a smoke in tow. And I gotta put up with this shit. Hacky Sack. Who plays Hacky Sack? Oh, and then they're all sitting around after the game of Hacky Sack was over. They're exhausted now, so they're all sitting around. And I hear Zach say, "What if life is just a dream?" I was like, "Oh my Christ, I can't deal with this anymore. I really can't." Yeah, so this is what vegans do. Vegans are fat bastards that start eating vegan food, and then they wind up losing weight, and then they wind up getting gaunt, and they wind up getting sick because they've just lived off their fat stores for the last couple months or years. So vegans, it's like a diet. When somebody tells me they're eating vegan, it's a diet until you basically either go to the grave or then you finally decide that you're so sick that you need to switch back to meat. Yeah, sorry. Watch a vegan go find a vegan at the end of their diet where they decide to switch on to meat and be there. Watch them when they finally eat a piece of steak. Watch what happens to them. Watch all like the color flush in, you know, the vascularity starts coming out of the arms almost immediately. Come on. Sip of coffee for a good steak. start listening to Dio again. Yeah, put down the Tom Waits. Listen to Dio. No, there's not a vegan alive that listens to fucking Dio, baby. That's right. What do we got here? Went to a garage sale. What am I going to tell you? Went to a garage sale. Young guy. Yeah, you know who you're talking about here. I pull up to this garage sale. He's got the Dodge diesel pickup truck. He's selling bows and arrows. I mean, who is this guy? Ted Nugent? Anyhow, young kid. I asked him if he had any video games. He pulls this out of the garage. It's a Sega CD in the box. Look at this. Remember this? Welcome to the next level. Huh. I was there. 1992 Eminem video. I remember seeing the Sega CD for the first time, and I broke out into a cold sweat. Yeah. I was afraid. Because let's face it, I was a TurboGrafx guy. The Turbo CD was where it was at, and I said, this is going to be my main competitor now. And I hated it. I didn't hate it, but I remember seeing the intro when you would turn on the Sega CD, because that's what would run in the video game store. They didn't even have a video game in it yet. They would just run that intro. Remember the intro? Sonic would come out, point his finger, and the stars would fly out. And the Sega CD logo would come down, and I said, oh no. And let's face it, Generation 1 Sega CD was great looking. That Genesis, that Sega Model 1 perched on top of that automatic ejecting disc tray. Oh, that's where it was at, baby. I mean, this was cutting edge. This was state of the art. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Sega didn't cut any costs with this one. They tried. I remember they tried using a CD-ROM drive, a CD drive instead of a CD-ROM drive, and they were catching fire. Oh yeah, and I remember EGM gave Sega CD Peripheral of the Year. Oh, what were the ratings? It was like 8, 9, 9, 8. Ba, ba, ba. It was breaking my heart. But I gotta tell you right now, what saved my Turbo Duo was the Sega CD launch titles were absolutely fucking horrendous. Okay? Full motion video, everybody was excited about it back then. Everybody. Sewer Shark.
Welcome to the sewers, punk. The guy you're replacing, he had that same tough guy smirk on his face that you do. Till he hit the wall. They're out there now blotting him up with handy wipes.
We got some hungry critters bearing pigs.
9 or 12.
Night Trap, right? This is what we're talking about here. But they did not fool me. They didn't fool me. Listen, I remember playing Dragon's Lair in the arcade. You didn't fool me. I wanted nothing to do with it. I wanted to watch it because I've never seen anything like this before. But as soon as I found out what the gameplay was all about, you're not fooling anybody. Okay, and so this is what we were dealing with full motion video. I had it figured out. You were either playing games where you were pressing the direction to continue the storyline, or you were moving to like a little reticle on the screen. Well, like some type of on-rail shooter. Yeah, you weren't fooling me. No. So you had Sewer Shark, right? What were the early ones? Cobra Command?
Watch out. Get up. Up. Take a right. Wow, that was close.
Yeah. I mean, at least the Turbo CD they launched with Ease Book 1 and 2. Yeah. So I remember having a talk. I've always been at odds with my older sister's boyfriends. Okay, I remember one time I got into a fight. Like my sister's boyfriend said something smart to me. Okay, and I took a swing at him and he ducked, and I smashed my hand right into the fucking door frame, and broke my wrist. Oh yeah, oh that was painful. Let me tell you something. You go from being a tough guy taking a swing at somebody to jumping around on one foot, screaming at the top of your lungs. Oh yeah, I was in a cast that summer. How about that? Who won? And I remember her boyfriend laughing at me. Oh God, the humiliation. Anyhow, it was the same guy that when the Turbo Duo was coming out, I saw the CD-ROM. I was like, this is CD-ROM, this is a whole new level. And he goes, it's CD-ROM. And he had like a background in computers. He was like, CD-ROM, he goes, it's not interactive yet. And I was like, what? He goes, yeah, it's not interactive. You can't actually interact with a CD-ROM. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah, it can produce the graphics, but you can't control the graphics that it produces. And it was like my whole fucking world crumbled around me. And every time, I mean, right into my... I had a Sega Saturn. And I'm like, is this interactive yet? Am I interacting with the CD, or is it just fooling me? And for the longest time, I just felt like I was being fooled. And with the TurboGrafx, I didn't care. Fool me! Fool me! But when we started to move to the Sega CD, I'm like, it's time to be interactive, right? Right? And I really, honestly, didn't think the CD player was interactive until the PlayStation. And I'm like sitting there and I'm like, this guy's long gone. But I'm like, see? I wanted to find him. If there was Facebook back then, I would have found him. See? Anyway. But what are we talking about here? I mean, what did you have? Make my music video with Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch? Remember that on the Sega CD? Come on! Come on, goddammit! Nobody wanted that. Marky Mark and the Look, we just came off of New Kids on the Block. There wasn't a guy alive. There wasn't a kid alive. Boy, who wanted to see Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. This was all girl bullshit. This was not strong launching. Everybody hated New Kids on the Block if you were a boy. Christ almighty. So this is what you're going to launch with? And then you're going to launch with... So Sewer Shark, make my video Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. Make my video In Excess. Really? Who are you selling that to? Not me. And make my video Crisscross. And I got news for you right now. I don't know where you grew up, but we were listening to hip-hop. I'm listening to Eric B. and Rakim. I'm listening to Big Daddy Kane. I'm listening to Boogie Down Productions. Okay? I wasn't listening to Crisscross because they put on their pants backwards. So who are you appealing to then? I mean, we're talking about 1992 this sucker came out. So what was I then? 16? 16 years old, yeah. I wasn't into Crisscross, and I can... Listen, I tell the story. Listen. I'll never forget the time Phil came walking down the block with the cross colors uniform on. All right? And I got news for you. We all thought it was fucking lame. But I got news for you. The girls digged it. So, I mean, what are you going to do? And his grandmother bought it for him. And Phil came down. Phil didn't give a fuck. He comes down with the cross colors thing on, and we're like, "Oh, Phil, where'd you get the duds?" You know, but like here he is. It's crisscross. It's white crisscross. Hey, where'd you get the duds, Phil? Oh, my grandmother got it for me, and we all, busting into laughter. What are you gonna do? But the chicks dug it. You know, here he is. He's walking around. He might as well be fucking on Yo MTV Raps. So what a package! This is a package. This probably came out a year later, right? Probably 93. Remember? Yeah. Oh, this is a rockin' package here. But let's face it, this is low budge, right? So you got Sewer Shark. I don't know how much they were charging for this. Look at that. You got Sewer Shark, you got a Model 2, and you got yourself, oh my God, listen to that thing. And you got yourself the sidestepping Sega CD here. That was a deal. That was a fucking deal. You could play your Sega Genesis, you could play your Sega CD, and you came with a packing game. What? What, are you kidding me? And then this thing, they give you this thing. Where did that go? Oh, this is for your Model 1, right? Is it for your Model 1? What do I know? That's a deal, baby. Anyhow, we picked that up for $20. I didn't think that was half bad. What are you gonna do? The other thing he had there was a stack of PS2 games, and I'm looking at this stack of PS2 games, and I'm like, I don't know about this. What are you gonna do? And I said, how much you want for the? I had already bought this for the 20. I said, what do you want for the PS2 games? He goes, $5. And I was like, that's it. I'm in. You did $5. Vice City. This one's interesting. Street Fighter 3 EX. I didn't even know this existed. It looks horrible. I tell I could be wrong. It's Capcom, baby, but Jesus Christ. It looks like what's it called? Come on. It looks like Tekken. It looks like Tekken with Street Fighter 2 characters. Choose from 16 characters, blah, 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 4 modes of play, tag team battles. Tag team battles, huh? Interesting. Oh, here it is. I should have just looked down. Tekken Tag Team Tournament. Tony Hawk's Underground. I like this. War of the Monsters. Come on, how could this be bad? Ten massively destructive monsters, 13 fully destructible environments. How can you go wrong? Unlimited weapons, Scour the battlefield for cars, steel girders. Oh, come on. Oh, yeah. Who makes this? I'm in. Who makes this? I don't know. Stare in disbelief, scream in horror, run for your life. Def Jam Vendetta. Lego Star Wars. Scarface. A game I've always been curious about. Destroy All Humans. Sounds good to me. One giant step on mankind. Destroy All Humans 2. PK Out of the Shadows. What is this all about? PK. What did that stand for? What was this, like Donald Duck turns into a superhero or something like that? Simpsons Road Rage. Kingdom Hearts 2. Kingdom Hearts. And a brand new copy of Black. Still in the wrapper. How about that? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I can't even count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 PS2 games. There you have it. You just tuned in to the greatest video game program in the history of human civilization. And you better believe that. With a 4K face! We'll see you next time.